For the people of the Pacific Islands, the sea is life. It provides most of their food, it regulates their climate, and it's a familiar friend. But for these low-lying island nations, rising seas are now threatening their very existence. Ironically, this threat has its origins far away, where emissions from industries that have enriched the world's most powerful industrial nations are the biggest contributors to the changes that make Elson Kellen, a community leader on Majuro, the capital of the Marshall Islands, fear for the future of his children and grandchildren.
It's an unknown future for us. And of course, now with climate change, even this little island of it, the ocean that we'll depend on, is the same ocean that is crawling closer and closer to our living rooms. So that climate change is something that in big countries, they probably don't see it. But in this country, we live it.
Elson, whose passion is the traditional sailing canoes that allowed his ancestors to travel between islands, to trade, and most importantly, to fish, believes that he may not be able to influence the decisions taken by distant nations, but his knowledge can make a difference locally.
You know, we're one of the countries in the world that are affected the most with climate change. And by using our sustainable sea transport, which is our canoes, we're trying to keep that fossil fuel underground.
Even if global carbon emissions are reduced to meet the most stringent standards, the prediction is that by 2050, over 300 million people will be affected by rising seas. And the rising salt water threatens the entire survival system of these communities.
We depend on the water lens underground. And that water lens feeds our food trees and also give water to us. So if there's no rain for a month, that's our life. And that water lens is getting thinner and thinner every time. Another thing is the reef that provides for us are gradually dying. So that means the resources that we have in our ocean, in our lagoons, are getting less and less.
For most people, the immediate threat is high seas sweeping away their homes. And here on the Marshall Islands, the World Bank and the Green Climate Fund is financing the construction of barrier walls. Stone is being shipped in all the way from Dubai for this project, which according to most experts is an expensive, short-term solution. But for 26-year-old Jabani Joel, holding back the tide means he can stay in his home a little longer.
I live at the very end of the island, at the ocean side. And growing up, every year we face king tide. And as we hear from the government saying that our island's gonna be like underwater in like 50 years, 30 years. But, you know, I'm gonna still be here. Even though water is gonna crash into my home, my country.